Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, your first introduction to FAC2601. And throughout the semester, if you want to get hold of me for this course, the email is FAC2601 at tabaldi.org. Sorry, .com, not .org. Okay, and use the discussion forums, use the messaging system if you want on the tabaldi.org platform. Guys, I'm available and I'm here to support you throughout this session, okay? Let's have a quick understanding of what FAC2601 is all about. I've just pulled up your study guide and you've got all the different study units listed down the left-hand side. You've got Introduction to Company Annual Financial Statements. Guys, you're going to go and read through that as self-study. Okay, it gives you a bit of background. Yes, companies need to prepare financial statements in terms of the Companies Act. They need to do it in terms of the Companies Act in accordance with a IFRS or IFRS for SMEs. Okay, so it's not an optional thing here, guys. Okay, so this course is going to be quite different to FAC1601 that you passed previously to get into this course, in that this is going to be only about companies. Okay, then we move on and you'll see some of these look a little familiar. We have the framework of accounting. That's the framework for financial reporting, and that we're building on what you did in FAC1601. Here I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of thinking though, and actually maybe even do a question or two to get a feel for it. Then your presentation of financial statements, IS1, very similar, but I know you were very light on that in FAC1601, so we're going to expand and go through that in a bit more detail. Share transactions, this is going to be quite new. You've touched on that briefly in FAC1601 where you dealt a little bit with companies. But here we're going to talk about share issues, share buybacks, preference shares, a different type of preference shares, capitalization issues, etc. We're going to deal with all of the share issue, share capital type of transactions. Then revenue. Yes, there's a new standard out called IFRIC 15. I doubt that we will see any change in the syllabus this semester, so we will cover what UNISA has put out in front of you, IAS 18. Okay. Revenue, remember, it's income, but it's going to be defined as income from operating activities, basically, okay? Very important. It's one of the few accounting standards that are income or expense based. You'll see as you go through, most international financial reporting standards are either about liabilities, assets, or equity, right? Because the definition of income and expenses is either a movement in assets or liabilities. So income, increase in assets, decrease in liabilities, for instance. Revenue, however, is very important because it's the top line item in your statements of profit and loss. So that needs its own standard. Then we're going to deal with the statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, abbreviated as SOPL OCI, and relevant notes, as well as the statements of changes in equity. Okay, these are periodic financial statements. Over a period, we report on financial performance, right? Then we're going to look at the statement of financial position, SOFP, and relevant notes. Yes, you must know a high-level review of what notes need to be done, and rather be a little bit too notes-driven than not enough right now. Okay. Then from there, we're going to delve down into specific areas in more detail for notes. Okay. So specifically for financial instruments, that is a statement of financial position issue. We're going to deal with IAS 32, IFRS 9. Okay, there we're dealing with shares that you buy as an investment, or bonds you buy as an investment, or money you lend to someone else and they've got to pay you back. Then there's PPE, property, plant and equipment, always big, always included, right? Then inventories, not always in there, guys, but you need to know the basic workings here. And then leases, only the lessees. So a lease is when you give, well, is a right of use over an asset in return for payment, right? Now, as a lessee, you are the person having right of use of the asset and making payments. Okay, and here you'll see later on we're going to deal with both finance leases, where you in essence buy the asset and the lessor is providing financing, or an operating lease, where you are in effect just renting on a short-term kind of basis. Okay, now a lot of this is going to be disclosure based. Okay, so you will have disclosures and formats, which I know you all love. Okay, but remember there will also be the introduction of much more journals, especially for leases, guys. Journals is going to be important. Okay, so journals are not going to just be workings anymore. That gives you a feel for what the syllabus is all about. Let's have a look now at a past paper, just the front page, to give you a feel what you're in for at the end of the year. May, June 2013. Here we have 4 questions. We have a statement of profit or loss and OCI. Here, NB, guys, what's always going to come up is your profit before tax note as well. Then your statement of financial position. They said asset section. And what you're going to look out for here is there will be some disclosures required on the PPE note. Statements of changes in equity and leases. Okay, financial instruments might come up. Might do PPE as a separate section. But leases, in this example specifically, you have to do some journals. Okay, look at the mark scores. 35, 27, 21, 17. The whole syllabus is covered here, right? Watch out, they may still throw in a framework or framework discussion question. Okay, I'm going to work through one with you. Okay, and that should give you a good feel for it. It'll give you a format just in case. You'll see past papers don't have it heavily weighted there, but they're moving towards it because the framework is the basis for everything, guys. Okay, it's the basis on which the accounting standards are built. Remember also, please, in type letter 101, that you will have 2 compulsory assignments. Okay. Those compulsory assignments, please count 10% towards your year-end mark. No plagiarism, guys. We were originally thinking about putting up a comparison tool to help, but other competitors have tried to do that, and they've actually got in trouble with UNISA, so we can't. Okay. Then there is also other type letters that will be coming out with additional questions that you need to please get stuck into and do. Okay. We'll deal with the theory with you. I suggest you get the textbook, but not the end of the world if you don't. It's a good read. Make sure you work through all of our material, all of our videos, and then we're going to do integrated questions together, and you're going to do some by yourself. Okay. Let's get cracking, guys. Good luck. I'm here with you every step of the way.